A1, call to order. A2, pledge of allegiance. We will observe a 30-second moment of silence. Thank you. Moving to A3, adoption of the agenda. Are there any consent agenda items that a board member would like to have discussed as an action item? Mr. Solorio, do you have any?
I do not.
Thank you. Do I have a motion that the governing board adopt the meeting agenda?
I move that we adopt the meeting agenda.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill France. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. There is no public comment today. Moving to C, consent agenda. Yeah, if you would like to grab one of these forms right here. And sir, you could come up to the microphone, and what will you be commenting on today, sir?
Thank you.
Well, thank you. You have 3 minutes of comment.
So I'm super excited to be here. I'm a new teacher and new substitute teacher. I'm also a marketer and author. So I'm interested in the communications marketing position. You all have some books in your hand, and I believe you all do a okay job, right? At your social media. I was looking at it today. Got a few followers, right? Posting on a regular basis. But I just think it could be so much better, right? As far as content, videos. I'm like, why is nobody doing videos? You know? So I believe the book ties in, superintendents take the best selfies. What I realized from going to a lot of board meetings, I'm meeting Miguel Cardona and, all these cool people in education is, when he spoke in Chicago, he basically said we need to control the content, control the narrative, right? And when I see the social media, I'm like, why are we going, why are we depending on the news, right? Who's like, oh, Arizona has a teacher shortage of 2,500 teachers, right? That should not be the narrative, in my opinion. The narrative should be way better than that. We should control the narrative, right? As far as, superstars in this school district, right? Great people from, the board, to the teachers, to the parents, to the kids. So when I look at the social media, so when I first wrote the books, I thought it was just about the books. But the more I dived into the education system and coming to school board meetings, I was like, wow, I believe that more importantly, it's the message, right, that needs to be driven home from the superintendent down to the principals, to the teachers, right, to the kids, to the parents. So I'm excited. My daughter here with me. And I'm trying to drive the message home for her, right? Like, education is so important. It's what drives the future. So, in my opinion, right, um, you know, 90% of kids go to, some type of public school, whether it's
You have 30 seconds, okay?
okay. So, we just need to do a better job because if they spending the majority of their lives in this system, right, we should have the least problem of recruiting, right, on a time basis, right? They're not spending their time with an Apple for, multiple years. They're not. So I would like to help with that. I'm just excited to be here, excited for my daughter to be here, and I'm excited to meet you all. So, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. McAfee. We really appreciate you and your daughter joining us today here at the Alhambra Elementary School District Governing Board meeting. We really appreciate you, and let us know if we can keep the books or if you need them back, okay? Thank you. All right, moving to C, consent agenda. I call for a motion that the governing board approve consent agenda items C2 through C14.
I move that we approve consent agenda items C2 through C14.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill France. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Moving to D, comments and communications. D1, comments from governing board members. Mr. Solorio?
No comment.
All right, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for their hard work and dedication to ensuring the school year starts off strong. I've been talking to teachers and principals about their experience coming back to a new school year and have received lots of positive comments and hopes for the future. I talked to one teacher in particular who said that this year feels different. It feels exciting. It feels energizing. One of the best starts to the school years that they have had in years. In today's governing board agenda, I would like to highlight Molina Complete Care of Arizona. They donated backpacks and school supplies to Madrid. The Arizona Diamondbacks donated 15 iPads to Valencia. The flexible creativity contract here in the consent agenda item. I just wanted to let you know what their mission statement is. Their mission statement at the flexible creativity is dedicated to research, design, and provides unparalleled professional development and meaningful learning tools that foster the creativity and innovation skills of each student. Our goal is to empower leaders and administrators as they provide students with academic foundation to reach their potential, develop lifelong skills, and enjoy a successful experience in college and careers. We also see that the Donors Choose program continues to support our teachers and learners. I also have some recognitions and shout outs. Miss Diane Hernandez at GAP received the Arizona Teacher of the Year Award for IB Middle Years program, and Miss Angie Ceballos received the Arizona Teacher of the Award for IB of the Primary Years program. So a round of applause for Ms. Hernandez and Ms. Ceballos. I would also like to congratulate Dr. Ceci Mayas for being appointed to the Latino Advisory Council for the Arizona Department of Education. And last but certainly not least, Gabriela Bautista Alvarez, who is a nutrition clerk at Madrid, was awarded the Becky Bacon Award, which is our Employee of the Year award presented for exemplary teamwork, positive attitude, and for being an all-around outstanding employee. Congrats, Gabriela. One of the things in the board bulletin that I read that I was really excited about is the Carol G. Peck School's newly renovated science lab that is now appropriate for 6th through 8th graders. So I'm really excited about that. And then, as I mentioned, I've recently visited Valencia. I've met with their office staff and met with students. I even talked to some parents. And I'm just very amazed at the inclusive and welcoming environment that we have there at Valencia, and I look forward to getting around to the other campuses this school year. Thank you. Now moving to D2, Governing Board Direction and/or Agenda Item Requests. Ms. O'Neill France? Mr. Solorio?
None.
Okay. For me, enrollment is always a top priority, and I appreciate the updates from Superintendent Mayas and her team. I was pleased to hear that there were some home visits for children that were unaccounted for on the first day of school. I would also like to receive an update on the Alhambra Online Academy, since it's our newest school, and we would receive those updates along with the Global Academy of Phoenix update. I think it was on a quarterly basis. And then I have an idea, which I'll flesh out more with the superintendent, but I have an idea for Learning is Required art contest. So I think that would be really interesting to infuse Learning is Required throughout our district as we do professional development, and see what our students and maybe even our staff could come up with. That's just an idea, Dr. Mayas. Moving to D3, comments from superintendent and executive team.
Good evening, everyone. We'll begin our comments this evening with Ms. Gonzalez.
Good evening, President Conchas, governing board members, Superintendent Mayes. So I like a variety of celebrations tonight, starting with our Global Academy of Phoenix. They have just about doubled in size from how they left last year. So they now have about 291 GAP Lobos sitting in those seats, and probably since this number was counted, there are more. So congratulations to the hard work that they are doing to not just recruit, but to create a larger family of the great IB community that they have. I want to celebrate our movement forward, and this goes to your comment about starting the school year and how it feels different. Out there, we have so many adults, parents, teachers, kids talking about extracurricular activities and clubs. They are so excited, ready to go get physicals, can't wait till they start. So the buzz is out there, and you can hear it as you're walking through campus. They're very excited. Very thankful we can do that. Another shout out to Valencia. Tomorrow, they are going to have, through their partnership with DBACS and partnership with Perfect Play USA, they will have 50 top of the country high school baseball players on site. They're going to get a gift for every student, and then they're going to play catch during lunch. So that might give you a clue what the gift might be. But they're coming just to wrap around the kids. The kids are very excited, do some physical activity, and just inspire them. Sevilla West and Sevilla East partnered today in having their school community council with parents, and they were very excited. The parents were able to write collective resumes for themselves. So our teachers did that, but now we have our parents doing it, and they were able to see the value that they bring and just embrace the idea of maybe they want to go out into this workforce. So very exciting for them. And just a celebration for Barcelona. This is the first year that they've brought uniforms to the campus in collaboration with the families. And just being on the campus, you can see the pride in the kids as they're walking around in these uniforms. And the campus feels so positive and so calm. And they've done a lot of work, and the uniforms have gone off very well. So those are my celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. All right, and I know President Conchas, you spoke to the enrollment update, and so I would like to update you. Well, first, I'd like to say Ms. Bilyeu is out this evening, and she is at City of Glendale's council meeting this evening. There was an important topic that impacted our community, and so we have a number of parents that are there right now, and she is there alongside them as they advocate for safety in our community with our children. So thank you to Mrs. Bilyeu. And so I will share her updates. First, she wanted to update everyone with the enrollment update. And good news is that our district enrollment is better than projected so far. Our projected enrollment was 9,539 students. And our actual enrollment at day 10 was 9,891. So again, we are above our projected enrollment. And that's a difference of 350 students, which means an additional 1.5 million in our M&O funds. And so we're thankful for that as we want to be able to sustain everything that we have in place for our children right now. So a big thanks to our Community Relations Department for their hard work in this area, and all of our staff and students who, as our guest in our audience mentioned, who are telling our story about the great things that are happening in Alhambra so that we attract and retain our students and continue to do great work for them. An area that we're going to focus on is kindergarten. We had 897 students and so minus 174 students in the first grade. So we see a decrease in first grade. So that's something that we want to keep an eye on, is what's happening in kinder. And we know we had a study done a few years ago. I'm trying to remember how long, where we knew the birth rate was going to impact us, but we did see a 174 student difference from first grade to kindergarten. So we'll examine that more. Ms. Gonzalez, as you were mentioning students at the excitement for the upcoming enrichment opportunities, it reminded me I was at Granada East, and Mr. Mitchell and I were trying to get somewhere, and we were being stopped, like literally like one step, and then a student would stop and say, when are the sports starting and what sports? And then we'd take a few more steps and a student would stop, what about the physicals? Where can I get them? And so it was just so neat to see the kids so excited. Our governing board had also asked about bond updates, and so I wanted to share that our Valencia Gymnasium is on schedule. So thank you, Mr. Shields out there, who's working hard with our team and all the collaboration that takes. It should be substantially complete by December 24th, and scheduled with the final turnover scheduled on January 9th. So very soon. So thank you, Matt. I know you're leading all this work, and all of our schools. I know it's in collaboration with our stakeholders in our schools. And so we thank everyone for all of this. And then now with the remaining 3 primary schools, Granada West, Sevilla East, and Westwood, here are the updates for their bond meeting, or for their bond work. Sevilla East, the old wooden ball field light poles and lights have been removed, and electric removed, and they have been made, that area has been made safe. Mr. Shields has met with the vendor, and they've discussed the desire for the mini turf field for soccer in lieu of the Bermuda grass. And so they're working on that design and layout and pricing, and they have a committee meeting scheduled for August 29th. So that's Sevilla East. At Westwood, same thing. The old wooden ball field lights and poles have also been removed and made safe. And they have shade and 5 new outdoor playground drinking fountains that have been ordered and will be replaced, as well as additional shade structures in the primary playground. And then also, I should have had you come up here, Matt, and just share all of this. But Matt sent this to us last night, so I appreciate you organizing all this information, Matt. And I'll make sure to include it in the next update so you have it in writing. But I just wanted to make sure the community was aware of how we're using these dollars that our community supported us with. And again, these committees do involve our community and stakeholders. And then Granada West, they're preparing to demo portables 307 and 308. And then they're planning for renovations and updating in the multi-purpose room and some new technology. And their bond committee is also scheduled to meet on August 29th. And so again, I'll send these updates, but everything's in progress. And again, thank you, Mr. Shields. I know I was at Carol G. Peck today, and I saw him there and Mr. Huseman over there with some City of Glendale leaders. And there's a lot going on in the district as our teachers and everyone are working hard to support our children in learning. I wanted to give a solar project update as well. We've been working with Vergy to assess options. And at this time, I know there's been a lot of work with just assessing the possibility. And so because of the price in steel, it's been a challenge. And I know some preliminary proposed projects involved no possibilities of shade, but rather the solar structures on top of our buildings. And so thankfully, Mr. Schild said, no, we can do better than that. And so how can we get multiple benefits from these? And so they continue to develop or just continue to look at planning to see how we can maximize that opportunity to go green, yet at the same time, other benefits we can. And so, and those are our updates. And so I know everyone is working really hard. And I appreciate what you had to share, Mr. McAfee, thinking about superintendent. The book I have is Superintendents Take the Best Selfies. And it reminds me, if you looked at my phone right now, I took a lot of selfies this week, but I'm not the best at social media. But I do agree that we have to be better at telling our story because we have a lot of amazing things going on in our schools. And so just want to thank everyone for their hard work. And our district had a district-wide professional learning yesterday, Wednesday, and our teachers from across the district came together with like teachers, whether content areas or grade levels, and we heard a lot of great feedback, as well as areas where we can improve. And so the good news is everyone enjoyed that time together, and we'll continue, as in all things, to get better at everything we do. And so again, thank you to everyone for their hard work for our precious children. Thank you.
Thank you. And moving to E, meeting closing. E1, the next governing board meeting will be on September 15, 2022. And E2, calendar of events. September 5th, 2022, we will celebrate Labor Day. All Alhambra Elementary School District sites and district office will be closed to the public. E3, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill France. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.